All right, hello and welcome to the Rankin Technical College Summer Academy. My name is Jeff Scott. I'll be your instructor for this week. And, this was the thing that came out, the brochure that came out for the Summer Academy. And it says right here, we're in the website design, which says design your very own website with HTML and CSS. Well, not only are we going to design a website, we're going to actually be designing 3 of them. So I'd like to get started right away. The first one we're going to design is very simple. It's going to look like this. It'll have 3 pages, a home page, an about page, and a contact page. And what I'm going to do right now is to go over all 3 of these pages. I'm taking for granted that you know little to nothing about this. All right, so that basically, in other words, I'm going to walk you through the process. When possible, I'm going to automate as many things as we can possibly automate. All right, what do I mean by that? Well, what I'd like people to do would be to please go out to HTML5 boilerplate.com. In fact, I think, is it HTML5 or HTML? We'll find out. It is HTML5. So, I do this a lot so that people are able to read what I'm putting up there, and I know that doesn't make it much easier. But that should. So I'd like you don't have to put in the https://. Just if you would, please go out to HTML5 boilerplate.com. All right, and what it says here is it's the world's most popular front-end template. Well, the idea is we're going to download something right now that's going to help us create our website. It'll create some of the beginning code for us. And we'll go over that code so you don't have to worry about it. But I'm going to click this download v 5.3.0 right there. In fact, let's not even do that. Let's go to get a custom build. All right. And it says right here when we go to get a custom build, what do we want to do? Do we want a bootstrap? And we're going to do that in our second website. Do we want a responsive website or do we want a classic website? And there's a little bit of information here. We're going to choose the classic website. And when we do, we're given this. And we're asked, do we want any kind of template to be created for us? We're just going to leave that like that. All right. Do we want this? Yeah, we'll take this. We'll take this. Okay, what do we want here? Do we need this? Old browser warning, analytics? No. No, we don't really need any of this stuff. So let's go and take a minute and talk about what this stuff is. This is asking if we want a template written for us. And we'll look at mobile first, responsive, and Twitter Bootstrap in a little bit. But for right now, we're saying we don't want anything special. We also don't want any of these optional things. Some of this stuff is put in there for old browsers. That's what this is here. The Google Analytics, maybe you've ever seen that if you've gone out to a website and they show you how many visits you have. Well, with Google Analytics, not only will you know how many visits you have, but you'll know who visited you, basically. The HT access, the favicons, etc. This is just all stuff. A lot of it is stuff that will come up on the screen if you have errors and the like. We're just going to leave it off. We're going to use Modernizer because we're using HTML5. And with Modernizer, what we're saying is if you happen to be looking at this website with an old browser, normally that's an older version of Internet Explorer, still show the stuff on the screen. Okay? And do we want jQuery? Even though we're not going to use it, we'll put a jQuery in there anyway. All right? Now we're going to click download it. And you can see I get this over here. So I'm going to right mouse click and choose show in folder. There it is. It's in my downloads. I'm going to cut it from my downloads. And I'm going to put a new folder in here. And it's going to be called, how about Rankin Academy? All right, and this is going to be our first iteration, so we're going to put in here website 01. And now I'm going to take that file that I just had and paste it in here. Well, right now it's in a zipped format, so I'm going to unzip it. This will extract it or create literally this folder by the same name right here. All right, and there's an initializer. So this is what I have. I've got a CSS folder with a bunch of stuff in it. I've got an image folder and there are no images in it. I've got a JavaScript folder without too much stuff in it. I'm not even sure what these things are. They're for Git. We're not going to worry about Git, so I'm just going to get rid of them. And we've got this homepage. There's a lot of stuff in here. I'm not going to worry about what it is right now. But I'm going to run this by clicking Run and going to launch in Chrome. And it says right now, hello world, this is HTML5 boilerplate. So not real grand, not real glorious, not real much, to be honest with you. So let's take it from the top here and let's look at what we have. This first statement that's right here is what's called a doc type statement. It tells us we're using a document type of HTML5, which is the latest and greatest. HTML, which is what this file is, it's an HTML or a hypertext markup language file. Okay? It goes in between beginning and ending HTML tags. So that's what those are. This class is Node.js. We could write code in there, so if the user didn't have what's called JavaScript enabled, we would be able to handle it. We can leave it in there or we can remove it. It really doesn't matter. So I'm just going to remove it. And here we've got lang equal, and I'm going to put en in there because we're using English. All right, so that's what I've changed so far. Then I've got this meta char set. What is that? Well, computers only understand zeros and ones. All right, they're what are called binary animals, base 2. And what we're saying is the character set we're going to use is what's referred to as the Unicode character set. The character set is the set of characters that the computer recognizes. Back in the day, for the character set, we would have said ASCII, A-S-C-I-I, which stands for American Standard Code for Information Interchange. But it only allowed for 256 characters, which was fine because that allowed for all the English characters. But now, if we ever wanted this to go into other languages, we need to be able to have more characters. So UTF-8 means we're using what's called the Unicode character set, and that allows for over 100,000 characters. Okay? All right. This, for lack of better words, says if we're having a problem with Internet Explorer, as much as you can, try to use Edge. All right, this is going to be the title. So when we run it, this is what's going to appear in the tab up here, like you see here. All right, so we're going to call this My First Site, and this is going to be our home page. In fact, let's not even get the my in there. We'll just say first site, and it'll be our home page. If we wanted to create a bunch of stuff in here, so description content equals, we could put like in here, beginning, website, novice, website, okay? This is content that a search engine would look for when it was going through our site. That doesn't, if you don't understand that, don't worry about it, okay, please. This is done for mobile development. And what it says is, it's our viewport tag, and it says make this as wide as whatever medium we're using to look at it can be, whether it's a cell phone, a tablet, a laptop, or a desktop. and start the initial scale at 100%. Again, I don't expect this to totally make sense, and it's fine. All right. This says we've got a file in our CSS folder called normalize.min.css, and use that. This is our own file, which I believe right now is empty. And this file right here, so these two files, notice they both end with .css, which stands for Cascading Style Sheets. This file ends with JS, which means it's a JavaScript file. This is meant to handle older browsers. This is what you saw on the screen. Okay. And this is telling us, if it's at all possible, go out and grab jQuery, which is a JavaScript library which we can use if we want to. And that says go out and grab jQuery from what's called a CDN, or Content Delivery Network. And we have to put here HTTP:. All right? But if you can't find it, we've already downloaded it, so use that one. All right? And this is our own JavaScript file. So right now, we don't have much in here. Again, you saw when I ran this, that's all it looks like. And I can right mouse click on here and choose View Page Source, and that's the actual JavaScript that's rendered. So I've gone over that with you. I'm going to stop right here, and in the next video, we're going to try to take this and convert it to look something like, actually it won't quite look this good. For now, it'll look, well, where was that? For now, it'll look like this. All right, but it's looking more like we want it to look. So I'll be back with that second video in just a couple minutes.